All right. So I think we're live. I think we're good to go. So guys, first thing we're going to talk about is the secrets. It's the secrets of Disney. There's a really great book. And that book, I'm going to pull up the title really quick before I think it's called Secrets of the Mouse. I'm almost positive that's what it's called. But Taylor and I got recommended that book by a pastor at a church down in
All right. So I think we're live. I think we're good to go.
And we started listening to the first, just literally the first portion of the book, like the first chapter. I was like, man, this book is awesome. Like I really was getting a lot out of it. Why can't I find the book? Hang on one second, guys. Let me figure out where it is. All titles. Lessons from the Mouse, a guide to applying Disney's world secrets of success. This is what it looks like for those of you that are interested. And I would highly encourage you all to go get it. It was one credit on Audible, or I think it was like $8 for the audio version. But the general principle of the book is what makes Disneyland and Disney World so magical, right? Like what makes it when you walk in feel like you're actually in like a Disney movie, right? Or when you're with the princesses or you're in those little worlds, like you're actually in those little worlds. And so my biggest, like, there's 6 questions at the end, right? And I'm not going to necessarily like, we're not necessarily discussing this right now, but it's something to think about. And maybe Taylor's right here, so she might chime in a little bit too, because we were talking about this the other night. But the first question is what makes up the physical backstage of an organization? So let me explain what that means. So in the book, they're talking about backstage and on stage, right? So think about at Disney World, when you walk in, all from the character standpoint, from everybody that works there, you're on stage, right? So like for us, like when we're on a meeting, like last night, you're on stage, right? When you're before the meeting, even you're on stage. Like when you're meeting with somebody, you're on stage. What's the backstage look like, right? And then you could say this is on stage or off stage, doesn't necessarily matter. But what makes up the physical backstage of an organization, right? So we were talking a little bit about what is that, and I was saying like, okay, like our main Telegram chat would be, in my opinion, an on-stage event, right? Because that is, we put new people in there and we post closes, we post good things that are happening, right? Announcements, things like that. I know you had a couple of things that you were kind of throwing out there too the other night when we were talking.
Yeah, like so one of them was kind of like we go to our Tuesday night in-person training is definitely on stage, but then I was talking to Dan about considering like the meeting up for glory days afterwards to be like almost like a backstage sort of thing, and somewhat of an on stage as well, I guess, because like if the new people are with us, like that we do want to still share in our our personalities and be authentic, but also like that's our downtime too. So
yeah, and I think the big, and actually one of the questions hits this, so I'll go over that in a minute. But the second thing is what makes up the attitude backstage of your organization, right? Is it your mindset when you're not doing what you need to do, right? When you're not closing what you need to be closing, or maybe the income's down, or you get hit with a chargeback or something negative that you could perceive as negative. Are you just like all of a sudden shut down and like super butthurt about it and like just deciding to, well, this is it, right? Or are you like, hey, this is something I'm going to learn from this, I'm excited about it, like bring it on kind of thing? What makes up the attitude backstage of our organization? What makes up the attitude backstage of your life, right? Like, is the different things that you may or may not struggle with, like, are those backstage or are you front staging that? Are you making that your identity, or are you just making that something you deal with, right? Because like that's the biggest thing. I think the third question was what organizational magic or illusion should not be compromised. And I thought a lot about this one, actually. I don't know if you want to chime in first, go ahead.
What was the question?
What organizational magic or illusion should not be compromised?
Definitely the crusade. The crusade should never be compromised. It is quite literally the fuel that burns our butts about what's happening to our clients. I mean, once you lose that and you actually think that the Whole Life or Universal Life or Index, any of the alphabet lives are better than what we have, then I mean, I guess go work for them at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, for real. And I'm similar to that. Hers is more like what we do for clients. Mine was the dream, like never compromise your dream, never dream smaller. The longer you're in Primerica, your dream should get bigger, right? And it doesn't mean that maybe your income's down, maybe you're frustrated, maybe whatever you got going on, but the dream in Primerica should never get smaller, because you should see that there's more people hitting the ring every month than before. There's more people hitting the watch. There's more people, crossing diamonds and hitting the $1 million earner. Like there's 2 or 3 already this year. Like those things happen at a much higher rate now because of where we're at. So like we shouldn't compromise. It says magic or illusion. Like the magic of Primerica is 50% the dream and 50% the crusade. And those are 2 things that like, you've got to keep forefront of your mind, what we do for people and what you can build here for your family. Like those are the 2 biggest things. How can we incorporate the on-stage, backstage philosophy in our organization and training? So I think this is a pretty obvious one in my eyes, at least. I don't know about you, but how can we incorporate the on-stage and backstage philosophy in our organization and training? Like when we're on, like when we're on a training call, or like when you're at an event, like when you're at a training on Tuesday night, like it's on stage, like there's new people coming in, whether they're new in terms of coming for an op meeting, or they're new in terms for, they've only been coming for a couple weeks. You're excited, you're happy, you're energized, you stand up during recognition. Like you're not grumpy, mopey, walking around sad, frustrated, and depressed because nobody's going to follow you if that's what you're doing. Right. And when we're on Zoom, what does on stage look like on Zoom? It sure as hell doesn't look like our cameras off, right? It definitely doesn't look like not engaging in the Zoom chat. And I understand that the morning calls is one thing, but on Tuesday nights, like our camera's on. We're sitting in a spot where there's a light. Like guys, I mean, I'm telling you, when I was brand new, I'd be sitting in front of my light with my shirt on, like looking professional, taking notes, engaged with my team, engaged in the Zoom chat. Why? Because I knew, Josh, that someday I would have 30, 40 people showing up on trainings. And if I couldn't lead myself in that capacity, how was I going to ever lead anybody else? That, in my opinion, that's the most cut and dry. Also, the Telegram, I think, is one too, where on the Telegram, it's positive encouragement. You're shouting people out when they do good stuff, right? And you keep I don't want to say you don't, it's not that we don't complain. It's not that we don't have issues. It's not that we don't have any of those things, right? But we take our issues, our frustrations, our questions, we take them always, we go up, not over, or down. What do I mean by that? You go up to your trainer, right? So like here, I'm just gonna pick on Josh for a second, not because he did anything wrong, but like for Josh, if Josh had an issue and Josh is going and talking to Caleb and Angie and Bree and Brian and talking about like, oh, I can't believe this happened. What does that show your organization, right, Josh? If you're going down to complain, what does that show them? Well, it doesn't ever get better, right? And the reality is it does get better. And you got to be selling the dream to your new people, right? So Josh, when Josh has a frustration or a concern, Josh should be going up to me or to Taylor. Josh and Stephanie come up to Taylor or I, and they ask for help and they get coaching. And then they provide that same coaching down to their team. That's how you learn this business. You recruit somebody and then you coach them. That's literally how I've learned all of that I've learned in Primerica, was by recruiting people and doing exactly what my coach did to me and duplicating that through my new people. Right? That's how you learn it, guys. And it's not like a big secret, I don't think. Like, I think it's actually, that's why I always say like Primerica is very, very simple, because it's literally just recruit and copy. Recruit, copy, recruit, copy. Like, that's it. Like, that's why people love buying McDonald's franchises, because you just plug and play the system. It's one of the most proven systems. Did you have anything you wanted to add to the on-stage, backstage for our organization?
I was gonna kind of just add to all the couples out there that are like kind of doing the business together is on this note, make sure that if you notice that your partner is having like a down day, that you are, even if you are having a down day yourself, you never vocalize that you are having an up day. because no two people can be down at the same time. It just period. It like I have woke up on some mornings where I wasn't on the wrong side of the bed or anything, but I was already so frustrated from the day before that I just like vocalized it first, but he's had cancellations on cancellations. So when I vocalize my frustration, he's like, okay, I hear you. And then he'll go to the office. And then like that way, like he does not have to, look like he's having a down day in front of me because he
Yeah.
already knows that I'm having a down day. So
On that note too, like get good at recognizing your partner, right? Like, and maybe your partner's not on a call, not in the business, whatever, that's fine. But like if your partner comes home from work and they're having a crappy day, did you tell them like, hey, no, I set like 3 appointments today. Like I'm super excited for where we're going and what we're doing. Like you're always selling the dream to your partner until they start getting on the calls. And then once they get on the call, you start working together. Right. And like, there's times where like, I'll come home from the office and I'll have like 13, 14 appointments all day and like one person shows up and I don't close. And Josh, they're like super rude. And I just sit in my office like, what in the heck am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Right? Like this is torture. But then I think, and I'm like, I got all of you guys that I get to coach and spend time with. And then when I come home, Taylor's like, how was your day? I was like, it was great. Every time. It was awesome. Unbelievable, right? Like it was amazing. Why? Because I'm building my business. Like even if it sucks, it's better than a day at a job. Like I got to go to the bathroom when I wanted to. I could leave when I wanted to. Like I got to eat my lunch when I wanted. I didn't have not one person telling me when I could do or when I could or couldn't do what I wanted to do. So, just be thinking, guys, be really conscious about this stuff. Guess what? You're on stage when you're on a training appointment with your trainer. Are you walking around like smoking a cigarette with your tube top on or with no shirt on, guys, looking like you have no idea what the heck is going on? How does that look? Imagine you went to Disney World and you see Mickey Mouse smoking a cigarette in the back behind the building because you think that they're not on there. I'm dead. Brian, how would your experience would have been at Disney World had that happen? Like you see like a Mickey Mouse costume smoking a cigarette out back. You've been like, this is crazy. Like, do not let the kids see this. Right? Because let's be honest, guys, like when you go to, if you've ever been to Disney, like I grew up going to Cedar Point because we're from Michigan and it's super close in Michigan Adventure. But now that we're down in Florida, like I've been to Disney twice since we started Primerica. And it is, in terms of entertainment for the entire day, it is not even comparable in terms of the amount of fun that we have at Disney versus Cedar Point. The rides are better, worse, doesn't matter. But like the full enjoyment from everyone in the family, I think, is much higher at Disney, because you walk into Disney and even like the janitors are smiling, they're happy, they're asking how they can help you, like because they get the concept of on and off stage. Does that make sense? Like, guys, if you're calling one of your people to train them, like you're on stage. They don't care if you had a crappy day, you just found out your cat has herpes. I promise you, they do not care at all. Guys, last Tuesday, this is a great example of this. Last Tuesday, we went to the vet at what, 4 or 5 o'clock? And we found out we were going to have to put our dog down the next day. And I got on and I think I gave one of my best trainings on that Tuesday night. Why? Because I was on stage, like, and off stage, I was a mess. Like I've had that dog for 10 years. But how is that fair to the 150, 60 people that were on and at training last Tuesday for me to sit up there and cry about the fact that my dog was going to die? And I'm not saying you can't be emotional, you can't go through things, and life is, what's that?
It's a great thing.
I'm sorry. Life is going to happen to all of us, right? And then we're just being honest right now. Like, but if you think that things don't happen to me and Taylor, you're crazy. Like we get hit from all angles, it seems like, especially like the more we try to build a business, the more we grow, the more we get hit with. Why? It's tests to see if you're ready to lead people through that stuff. And I just felt like we needed to share that because like, I felt like I needed to share that because of last week, because I've literally talked to some people on our team and they're like, oh yeah, I know. I just, my kids are sick. So I just can't do anything at all for the next month. I'm really busy. And it's just like, dude, your kids are going to get sick all the time. Like it is what it is. They're kids. Like they lick playgrounds. It's just going to happen. Like you can't avoid that. No matter how much you want to try to keep them from licking playgrounds, Josh, you literally probably watched it happen on Sunday night. Yes or no? Like, and it's like, what are you doing? No wonder you're sick, right? But so what does being show ready mean in your operation, in your business, in our business? It means being excited, being engaged in the Zoom chat. Everybody type Zoom chat. We'll see if you're paying attention. Type Zoom in the Zoom chat. We'll see who's paying attention. It's little things like that that you think don't matter that make a huge difference. And it's why you're maybe not winning like you think you should be or you want to be. Right. And I know like it's like this is a different way of like, you know, maybe calling some people out and some things. And I'm not trying to necessarily call anyone out in particular, but it's the environment. Your environment is everything. Like Taylor sent me a video yesterday. I put it on my story, I think, actually, but about fleas. Like, you know, if you put fleas in a jar and you put a lid on, a flea can jump like 3 feet. It's crazy. But if you put the fleas in a little container and you put the lid on it, right? So let's say like this is how high they normally jump. Well, if you put a lid right here, the fleas are only going to jump and hit the lid. And then, Caleb, you could take the lid off and they're going to jump and they're only going to go as high as that lid was before. They're not ever going to jump to their potential. And so you're like, a lot of the on-stage things are what's lidding our business right now. Just to be completely honest with you, I think we're at a place where we keep running into the lid of our business. And just to be completely honest with you guys, it's because it's at almost, I think it's very close to a capacity of which I can be directly involved in the businesses. And it's at a point where the leaders in the business, I don't care if you're brand new and you started yesterday, if you've been here for 2 years, it doesn't matter. The leaders have to step up and get better. You have to take your lid off and free yourself to jump higher. You have to grow outside of what you're comfortable with and stop letting the people around you place a lid over your head and keep you down. Are you guys with me right now? Is this helpful? Like, are you guys seeing value in this call this morning? I know it's a little different. It's not like set appointments this way and do it this way, but you need to understand that like your operation is always show ready. What do I mean by that? You get a DM, you're responding pretty quick. Speed is king.
I was just about to say speed is king.
Right? You get a DM, dude. Oh my goodness. Like I'm playing Xbox right now. I can't respond. I'm in the middle of Call of Duty. I might die. Freaking hide in a corner and respond to that person.
Or just die.
Or die. Yeah, either way, who cares? Like if you die, you have more time. You can think your thought through a little bit.
Right.
I'm just gonna be real. I've been there. But guys, like I'm kind of joking, but also kind of not. You're like, oh, I'm not working anymore. I can't respond to a message. I had 17 people comment on a post. It's 9 p.m. I can't respond to any of those messages. Bullcrap. Guess what all of them are doing right now while you're sitting there? They're freaking scrolling through Facebook, looking at their phone. Yes or no? Like, do you not lay in your bed and stare at your phone? If you're saying no, you're probably lying. Maybe some of you actually don't. Like, but I know for a fact, Josh, that when I go to my bed, I'm either going to read a little bit or I'm just going to hang out there. But I'll check my phone until I'm like actually ready to go to sleep. I'll check my phone or I'll watch a couple reels or I'll watch a 5 or 10 minute little podcast thing or something. It is what it is. Is it good or bad? It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's what's happening. Right. So somebody comments on a post and they commented on the post 2 minutes ago. And then Lydia, you're laying there, you're like, or you're like, oh, this person just commented. It's 10:30 at night. Should I respond? They just commented. They are awake. like you'll be fine. Right? Oh, it's 1 p.m. or it's 1 a.m. I don't want to respond to them. They literally just said, I'm interested. I had somebody yesterday actually message me back at 2 a.m. and they're like, I'm interested. And I woke up honestly to go to the bathroom and I checked my phone to see the time and I saw that they messaged me about 20 minutes ago. I didn't wait till 7:30 to message. I messaged them right back at 2:30 in the morning. Why? Because I'm just engaged. I'm on it. Right? Like you can't look at me right now and tell me that I'm not focused to grow our business. So guys, I'm fired up about this thing that I'm going to tell you about in a second. Once I find the picture, I got to share it to my computer. So where are we at? Oh my gosh, I'm going the wrong way. Wait, what's happening?
When you had enough people in different time zones.
Taylor, kill the time.
That's what I was just going to say. Like that when you add people on Facebook and they have different time zones, you will get people messaging at 2:30 in the morning, but it's what, like 10 p.m. their time? Like it's not, they're not thinking, like this isn't a bad time for this person, it's their time. So they don't,
yeah.
A lot of the times they just don't really think that you are outside of their time zone.
All right, guys. So I'm excited about this. So 2 things. Number 1, our Saturday boot camp, the morning call, or the morning training that we're starting up at 9:30. This week is going to be with Mike and Lisa Chafin. They're going to run that call for us. Guys, we got to load up that call. These guys are amazing people. If you were at the Tampa Bay Builders School, you heard them speak. They are incredible people. Taylor and I have gotten a chance to really, we're not like besties by any means, but we've really gotten a chance to get to know them over the last few weeks. And Taylor's been talking with Lisa a lot. And so on Saturday, guys, at 9:30 a.m., mark your calendars. It's on the same link. They're going to be just letting it rip, guys. These guys just promoted an RVP last month and then got their SVP promotion. They either have or they're very close to ownership. This call is going to be amazing. Make sure you guys mark your calendars, set your alarms for 9:30. But guys, this is what I'm super excited about. So for this incentive, guys, it is going to be the top personal producer. Everybody type personal in the Zoom chat. So it's the top personal producer for life insurance premium. Okay. Well, Dan, I'm not licensed. Great. Your field training counts for yours. Okay. So like Lydia, you're not licensed yet, right? But I'm training you. So Lydia, if you go out and you do $1,000 in premium, it's going to count for both of us. And if it's between you and me, all your premium comes off my score, and that would be your 1,000, not mine. Are you guys, does that make sense, guys? So if you're training a lot of people, you're going to be able to really go out there and get after it. But the reality is, every single person should be fight like hell to win this. Because this is going to be, guys, this is an experience that Taylor and I didn't get to experience until we got to RVP. Generally, you don't get to experience this until you get to RVP. So the week after Builders School, right? The week after our Midwest Builders School, it's a Monday. I don't care if you work or not, you get it off. I promise. You just sick, just start coughing, you'll be okay. But it's Monday. I believe it's, can you double check the date real quick on something? I got it right here. Sorry, Taylor broke her phone yesterday, so she usually doesn't have it, but now it's literally broken. So yeah, June 26th. So on June 25th through the 27th. Okay, so it's Sunday, Monday, and leaving on Tuesday. Mike and Lisa Chapin have opened up their house to us for one guest. So we're running an incentive for one guest that is one of you all. So you and your significant other. And while we are there, we're going to go to home office on Monday, and we're going to get to see a little bit of home office. I don't know how much of a tour. I don't want to tell you it's going to be a full-blown tour, Angie, and then we get there and you just get to see like some of the main stuff. But we're going to do everything we can to get you guys to go see home office. We'll introduce you to as many people as we can. We're also going to go to the Monday live broadcast that they do. So you know how they do the Monday live broadcast at noon every week. They do a live broadcast through PFN TV. It's a weekly broadcast. And you're going to get to go and watch that with like live at home office in the Art and Angela Williams Theater. And guys, Taylor and I are going to pay for your travel there and back. And we're going to make sure that, but you have, it's the top personal producer. Everybody type personal producer in the chat one more time for me real quick. It's the top personal producer for life insurance is going to win that trip, guys. And so if it is a COD policy, if it's a COD policy and it issues and gets placed, that's when it counts. If you write a COD policy and it does, and it's not issued by the time that this ends, which is month end, which we have about 8.5 days left of. Okay, so it's on the 1st at midnight. We're fighting till month end for this, guys. You place a COD, it counts. You write a COD, it doesn't count until it's placed. Does that make sense? All right, guys, this is a very straightforward contest. Top life insurance producer. That's it. That's it. Cool. Any questions, guys? Unmute yourself if you got a question. Are you guys excited? Is that a cool incentive? Are you guys fired up about? I'm fired up about. I'm gonna go whether you go or not. So I want to take somebody with me, but I don't know. Taylor asked if we're gonna do resets. I'm not gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We'll have double point days and reset days and all that type of stuff, but you never know when it's gonna come. And here's the reality: if you just, I promise you, if you close something every day, you'll be in contention at minimum to win. If not, like that's what Andy would always tell us in the contest. Like, guys, as our team continues to grow, you guys will figure out how these contests get run. And the secret is just to freaking close something every day. Like just be consistent. Just get out there and go put yourself out there, talk to your people, close business, and teach your people how to win. Here's the reality. Like if you have 5 or 6 recruits right now on the month, there's no reason you don't go 4,000 or 5,000 in premium in the next couple of days. Right. And guess what? You're helping them compete to win, and you're competing to win in doing that. And you're getting them excited, and you're getting them bonused. And more importantly than all of that crap, you're making money, and you're going to be able to pay your bills, and you're going to be able to do this full time. Right. And so it doesn't matter what contract level you're at, it's total annual premium. Any questions, guys? Any questions? 6 of you are excited. That's awesome. Anybody have any questions though?
I'm excited. I'm just on the highway, so I can't text.
You're good. I think you.
I don't want my policy to pay out.
You what?
I don't want my policy to pay out.
Great. I'll take it. You can write it under my code. I'll help you. No worries. We'll count it for you though. It's fine. Any other questions, guys? All right. Hey guys, go put something on the scoreboard today. Go lock down your first. Who's going to be the first one to get some points? That's what I want to know. If you're going to be the first one to put a life app on the board, go drop that in the Telegram chat. Just say it's me. If you're going to be the first one to close some premium, go